Who is responsible for the black ghetto? Who created the dysfunctional ghetto known as Black America? I overheard a conversation from some coons. I overheard a conversation from some Africoons blaming American Africans for the ghettos that plague the black community in America. They said black people made the ghetto. Black people created the ghetto. Black people maintain the ghetto. And black people are responsible for the ghetto. This is what they said. That black people created the ghettos of America. Needless to say, that premise is totally false. Needless to say, that premise is a total lie. Needless to say, that premise is part of a government narrative that has psychologically confused black people into thinking that they are their own worst enemy. So now I want you to understand, overstand, and understand who really created the ghetto. Now I want you to understand, and overstand who really created the ghetto. Let's get into this for a minute. Let's get into this for a minute. Let's get into this for a minute. Who really created the ghetto? I'm getting my smoothie on today, trying to eat healthy. Getting my smoothie on today, trying to eat healthy. Stay in shape, fellas. Stay in shape. First of all, there would be no ghettos in America. There would be no ghettos in America, and especially not in the northeast section of America, had it not been for carpetbaggers coming down to the southern states where our people dominated and begging black people to come up to the northern industrial cities to fulfill jobs that were left vacant by white boys who had to go fight in white supremacy's wars. Let me say that again. Had white folk left black folk alone in the South, had white folk left black folk alone in the South, there would have never been no northern ghettos. But y'all came to the South and y'all promised our great-great-grandparents. Y'all came to the South and y'all promised our great-great-grandparents. Y'all came to the South and y'all promised our great-great-grandparents that they could have a better life in the North. Y'all promised them jobs. Y'all promised them equity. Y'all promised them opportunity. Y'all said, if you come up to Detroit, if you come up to Philadelphia, if you come up to Baltimore, if you come to DC, if you come to Milwaukee, if you come to Chicago, if you come to Richmond, Virginia, this is what y'all did. If you come to Connecticut, if you come to Boston, we have jobs for you. We have jobs for you. And so black people mass migrated from the southern states to the northern states during the war years. Black people mass migrated from the southern states to the northern states during the war years to fulfill jobs for white men who had to go fight for white supremacy. When those white men returned home after the war, black people were laid off, giving white people their jobs back. But you never told our great-great-grandparents. You never told our great-great-grandparents. You never told our great-great-grandparents that leaving the South for the North, leaving their agricultural, dependable economy, although not perfect, Buffalo, New York, that's another one of them cities where they begged us to come work. But y'all didn't tell our great-great-grandparents that when they left the South for the North, they would only be given jobs for a temporary season of time. Y'all did not say that once the white boys come back from the war, you would be laid back off. Y'all didn't say that. Y'all didn't say that. So by begging our ancestors to come from the South to the North, by begging our ancestors to come from the South and the North, you struck two birds with one stone. You struck two birds with one stone. Number one, you destroyed the black monopoly on Southern agriculture. You helped destroy the black monopoly on Southern agriculture. and then you economically disenfranchise generations of black people, and then you laid the early foundation for what is now known as America's black ghettos. We didn't do that. White America did that. We didn't do that. White America did that. Does anybody know why the black ghetto is so close to the business centers of America's northern cities? Has anyone ever wondered why the black ghettos are so close to America's major urban economic centers? I don't care where you live. I don't care if you live in Detroit. I don't care if you live in Chicago. I don't care if you live in Philadelphia. I don't care if you live in Baltimore. I don't care if you lived in Hartford, Connecticut, Boston, Massachusetts, Buffalo, New York. I don't care where you live. The ghetto is only about 10 minutes away from the multi-billion-dollar white governmental city center business complex. Why are poor black people so close to rich white money? Why are poor black people so close to rich white money? Now, let me help you understand, overstand, and understand why poor black people are so close to rich white money. The reason poor black people are so close to rich white money is when they started laying off our great-great-grandparents during the war years. When a white boy came back, the black man had to be fired. There was no civil rights movement yet. When the black man came back, the white man had to be fired. There was no civil rights movement. The civil rights movement is a generation away. The civil rights movement is a generation away. When they started laying us off, we clustered around the city centers because that's where the money was, which automatically dictated that's where the jobs would be. When we got laid off, when our great-great-grandparents got laid off, we started living. We started clustering around the inner city business districts where the white man did his multi-million-dollar business on a daily basis. We clustered around the white business centers hoping we could find a job. That's why the ghettos are so close to downtown business centers in every major city in the North. The black ghetto is a stone's throw away from the multi-billion-dollar white business district. That's why they need to gentrify the ghettos right now. One of the main reasons America is gentrifying black America, one of the main reasons America is gentrifying Philadelphia, New York, Raleigh, North Carolina, Detroit, Chicago, Buffalo, New York City, you name it. Los Angeles, Phoenix, you name it. Oakland, California, Seattle, Portland. The reason they are gentrifying the black ghetto is we are too close to white economic power. We are a contradiction because you cannot talk about how great and mighty and prosperous America is, the land of opportunity, and you got billionaires living 10 blocks away from poor people. It's a contradiction. The black ghetto is a stain on American capitalism. The black ghetto is a stain. New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans, no different.